It's not about motivation. Winners need discipline. Wake up and win today. Discipline comes from within.
Boxing King Media in association with boxer Azim. Adam, you've been off the radar for a while. We'll catch you tonight at the O2. Big announcement. Just announced your fight with Harlem Eubank. But before I get to that, I've got to ask you, I know you're fasting at the moment. Yeah. How's the month of Ramadan going for you?
It's all going well, actually. I've been training while I've been fasting, so it's good because I need to obviously, pray to Allah, for more victories. Hopefully I get more success this year as well. 2024 I want it to be a big year, and hopefully I pray that inshallah I beat Harlem Eubank. So that's what is fasting all about. So.
Well, interesting fight. I don't think anybody really saw this coming. I think there was rumours all tonight that there was going to be an announcement. I think people were assuming it's going to be something to do with Chris Eubank Jr. or Dillian White, but it's Adam Azim versus Harlem Eubank. So I've got to ask you, how did you come to the decision of fighting Harlem Eubank? Because I don't think anyone saw this coming.
Do you know what? We've planned this fight quite before this. Not like obviously we necessarily been thinking about the fight, but obviously we wanted the fight because obviously Harlem Eubank 19-0. He's in my weight as well. Obviously I'm 11-0, and for us to take the fight, it's a big massive fight for everyone. So, and it's such a big name as well. He's got the Eubank name, which is such a big massive name in the boxing industry, and obviously it's actually a privilege to get in with the Eubank. But when I do fight him, then obviously that has to stop itself. So.
Obviously, most fans are going to be curious. I'm assuming the European title's not on the line?
Obviously, when I'm out fighting, I'm fighting Harlem Eubank now, so obviously the European's not on the line. So the European is now officially vacated, and I'll be fighting Harlem Eubank.
Okay, I've got to ask you, because obviously the question on everyone's lips is, because it's been in the news quite a bit recently, everyone's been waiting for your decision whether he was going to vacate or whether he was going to fight Dalton Smith. So can I ask, why you're not fighting Dalton Smith?
See, the reason, obviously, a lot of people, the media has been hustling me about why I'm not fighting Dalton Smith. I've got a team there for a reason, and my team, plays a big part of it. Obviously, I can beat him tomorrow if I wanted to. If I fight him tomorrow, I'll beat him. But obviously, there's a team behind me, and there's a reason why we haven't taken the fight, because obviously, I want to have a bigger fight with Dalton. But obviously, I'm fighting. Harlem Eubank on my 12th fight, and who's Dalton Smith been fighting on his 12th fight? He's been fighting journeymans on his 12th fight. I'm at 21 years old, gonna be fighting on my 12th fight against Harlem Eubank, which is 19-0. That shows levels itself. So you know what I mean.
I appreciate what you're saying, but a lot of fans were expecting you versus Dalton, and obviously Eddie Hearn's hyped it up quite a bit as well. And I think, to my knowledge, it would have been the British, Commonwealth, and the European titles on the line. Just explain why your team think that's not bigger than potentially fighting Dalton over Harlem.
So I've got my ambitions to become world champion. I've not even looked at the British title itself. I've always been looking at the world title, and I feel like fighting Harlem Eubank before I get into that stage is a big step up itself. It's a big massive fight itself. So it's good that I took the Harlem Eubank fight.
So what's the plan going forward? It's Harlem Eubank, and then obviously. In fact, before I even get to that, I want to ask you, how did your team, when did your team decide that it was going to be Harlem, not Dalton?
Well, we obviously had discussions. We're going back and forward with their team as well. Obviously, we didn't get nothing signed yet, but obviously we got officially signed. I'm fighting Harlem Eubank, and it's been a while that we've been thinking about it. Like, you can't just go get a contract tomorrow and sign it and obviously fight him. You've got to have a process for it. So our process has been steady. Obviously Dalton Smith fought Zubaida. I thought he done a great performance. He did what he had to do, but I don't think that was the best Zubaida, because obviously he's 34 years old. He's done now, and but I feel like this is a bigger step up for me against Harlem Eubank than him actually fighting Zubaida. But I give both two respects for both of them. So yeah.
Again, fans, there's going to be a big select of fans who are going to be for your fight for Harlem, and there's going to be a lot of people that are going to criticise you for not fighting Dalton. So what do you say to the ones who are wanting you to fight Dalton?
They can, they keep waiting. They can keep waiting. That fight's going to build itself. It's going to get even more bigger. And when I do fight him, then we'll see what happens. That's what I'm saying.
I spoke to Amir Khan yesterday. I think he basically said that, them sort of fights you don't need to take at 21 years old, because obviously the amount of damage you take from them sort of fights, because it's a 50-50 fight on paper. He suggested that it's a bigger fight, maybe a year or two down the line. So Are you guaranteeing the fans that that happens in a year or two's time?
It could happen like year or two time. It could happen this year. You never know. But it's a bit like Khan versus Brook. That took a really long time to build. But obviously Khan did say in the interview that I wish he had it earlier. I've got the opportunity that I could have it earlier. So hopefully it could happen next year. It could happen this year. It could happen. We don't know when it's going to happen. But I know that I'll beat Dalton Smith, and Dalton knows that he'll beat me. So we're both in positive mindsets that. We're gonna be fighting it out in the ring, and we see who's the best at the 140 division UK.
And the last thing you said about Dalton's performance last week, what did you make of the time when he called your name out in the ring? Because normally you guys have kept it quite respectful. He did it respectfully, but he obviously called your name out.
I respect him a lot, but when we get into that ring, obviously my respect goes. I'm going to be, a bit Iron Mike Tyson, coming at him. So it'd be like that. But I've got a lot of respect for him. He's a nice guy. But I was just sitting there eating my food, and I was kind of laughing because obviously he should be thinking beyond that, becoming world champion. But why is he downgrading back to me? Like, am I doing something right? I'm 21 years old, so obviously I'm doing something right. And I'm fighting Harlem Eubank, which is showing that I'm not afraid of no one. So.
And Eddie Hearn said he keeps saying that you're a good fighter, but he reckons Dalton beats you, and obviously he's been demanding the fight.
He should be saying that because that's his promoter. Like, a promoter cannot be saying, oh, he's not going to beat him. But obviously he's got positive mindset that Dalton Smith beats me, and Ben Shalom's got positive mindset that I beat Dalton. So, but the thing is that Dalton and Eddie need me to build Dalton up to obviously a superstar. But that's the thing. This is when the boxing game is about. It's all about timing. This is what a lot of people need to get right. That the word timing, it comes when the time is right. So.
Adam, I appreciate your time. Thank you for the interview. And like I said, there's going to be fans that will be happy with the decision, but there's going to be some that aren't going to be happy with it. But I wish you and Dalton all the best, and hopefully you guys meet down the middle.
Win gold now. IPMB is giving away 5 24-karat gold coins to our token holders worth over $2,000 each.
Let's do this.
Thank you very much for this great news. It's amazing.
It's never been easier to own gold, so join the raffle now.
Got a question for you. Where can discipline take you? Discipline points you towards your goals.